Hey guys, I'm Dave and welcome to the Trull Gallery. Today, we're going to start to rebuild my house. The last video on our house ended shortly after the demolition crew came a few days early to tear down our 99-year-old house. It's been nearly 4 months since then, and the crew's starting to make some progress. Now, just remember, I'm basically a furniture maker, and this whole block-built house thing is new to me. But with that said, let's see where we are so far. It took about 4 weeks to get the rest of the permits from the city. In that time, the bamboo and weeds grew about 18 inches, and they all had to go before the digging could begin. By the end of June, it was time to level the lot. Well, maybe not level, but at least smooth things out. And the skid steer made quick work of cleaning things up. About a week later, the batter boards were in place, the trenches for the footings were dug, and they had begun to add in the rebar. A day or two after that, the concrete crew showed up with a pump trailer and poured the footings. It's hard to see, but our lot slopes up from the front to the rear, and they poured the footings with a few steps along the way. While the footings were drying, or is it curing, something like 15 pallets of concrete blocks were delivered. I did some quick math and came up with an estimate of 2,000 blocks. I know that's not enough for the entire house, but it's a start. I swung by 2 days later and was surprised to see the crew get a jump on the foundation. I just had to get a shot of the new shop space while I was there. After another day or two, the foundation was complete. They even cut the top blocks for what I'm guessing has to do with the slab pour. I'll have to wait and see. To get a better idea of the slope of the yard, the front of the house has 8 courses of block, but the rear of the shop has only 4 courses. Here you can see the concrete threshold for the door out of the shop and the back door into the house. I hope they plan to add a few steps. About a week later, the crew came back and filled all the cores of almost all the blocks, including those for the front porch. The only blocks not filled were marked out for water, sewer, and things like that. I'm guessing it's easier to punch through the blocks if they're not solid there. It was only a day or two before they began to backfill the foundation. They had to build a ramp so they could get the fill and the machinery from the shop into the house area. It took them about 3 days to fill and compact all that material. By the looks of it, they had 2 skid steers and a compactor going. I have no idea how much material it took, but it looks like a lot. After more waiting, the crew's back at it, this time digging the trenches for the plumbing. I actually get to see them digging. Most of my updates come after the crew has left for the day and I'm on my way home from the shop. The plumbers were right on it, and 2 days later they laid all the drainage pipes. The day after, all the supply lines went in. I'm guessing there's another inspection before they can backfill, but what do I know? Another week had passed, and everything seems to take a week at this point. They were back to backfill all the plumbing that was installed. I talked with one of the crew who told me that once you got everything level, the next step was to spray the filled foundation for termites. Once that happened, they came back to lay the plastic and set up the reinforcing mats in preparation for pouring the slab. It took about 2 weeks, but we finally got our slab poured. By the time I stopped at 11 a.m., it wasn't just poured, but they had already gone over the surface with a power trowel. I'm not sure what they were doing with that ginormous cutting wheel, but it sure made a lot of dust. When I came back around 5 o'clock that day, they had cut in the expansion joints, patched a crack or two in the block foundation, and they had called it a day. You may have noticed I didn't get a lot of action shots of the building crew. That's because I'm usually in the shop while they're here working, and I try to stop by most afternoons to check on any progress. And while we have had our share of delays, sometimes waiting for the city inspectors and sometimes just the rain, word on the street is they'll be back next week to start stacking the wall blocks. I usually end my videos with the same spiel, but since I technically didn't do anything on this one, I don't have any tools or things to share with you. But my affiliate link will be listed below in case you do need some tools. And if you happen to need them and purchase them through those links, it does help keep this channel going. It'll probably be a while before we get another house video in, and I'm not really sure what's going on in the shop next, but I hope it'll be something interesting. If you enjoyed this video, maybe you could share it with friends and give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, maybe it's time to hit that subscribe button and little bell so you get notified each time I put out a new video, whatever that'll be. And yes, it's Florida in the afternoon and it's starting to rain. So until next time, have a great day, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.